Welcome to the Drive Network. I'm your boy, Big Bucks. The Drive Network is a podcast that's driven to inspire you through the lives of our very own brothers that are doing well. I'm not alone. I'm with my boy, Tumelo.
Never say big bucks.
We've been trying to do this, eh?
For a very long time, actually.
So he's been running away from me, this guy. Why don't you see ya, man?
I'm very camera shy.
Is it?
By nature. Just an exception
fine.
today.
I'm just glad I finally got you to the studio. But
no, it's a pleasure.
Like we say, Go Drive Network here is just about sharing the stories of our very own brothers doing well. And then we want to take these stories kokasi. There are guys that are doing well.
No.
And like I always say, if you look at Bafana Watla Momora Harol, they have no excuse but to do better than us.
Of course.
Because there's more opportunities now and stuff like that. But we need to give them the stories, take it back, focus around for the store. But other than that, how do you introduce yourself, Mr. Mokhobo? Just introduce yourself quickly to the people there.
It depends in which context. Anyway, I'm Tumelo Mokhobo. It's a pleasure to be here, Bucks. I think, firstly, the effort that you take takes time, and I really appreciate
Thank you very much.
Beyond everything else, it takes time and effort, right? And I think there's no better platform like this to tell stories, because obviously now, unlike before, there was no technology. Communication means were different back then.
Exactly.
So now I think it's an opportune time that you must discuss or we show stories like this via this platform. Anyway, Tumelo Mokhobo, of course, like you said,
Yeah.
I don't know what else do you want to say. Obviously, it's born and bred, studied there in Potchefstroom, Northwest University. Yeah. I went actually to a Christian school. Of course, you went to Boys High. My older brother went to Boys High. And funny enough, when I went to Boys High for the interview, I failed the interview. You know that?
No.
I failed the interview at Boys High, ended up Christian school. My older brother went there. That it didn't even work. And most of my friends that you know went to Boys High.
Yeah.
And people always used to think I also went to Boys High.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I went to a Christian school up until matric. Then after matric, most people don't know this. I got a bursary, go Anglo Platinum. Yeah, mining engineering. So 2006, packed up my bags, went to Rustenburg. Close to Marikana, actually. There's a hostel there. I knew Marikana very well. Stayed there. And what Anglo-American used to do back then was you go work before they sponsor you to go study.
Oh.
So that you know the experience first before you go study. Because some people, what happened was they sent people straight to school. And then when they go to actually see the environment, they don't like it and then they quit. 2006, I went there, underground, mining, Shongolo, Fanagalo. I know Fanagalo very well, actually. People don't know. So then I went there, I think from Jan 2006, underground, going every day. You do qualifications at mining authorities, asking mining qualifications authority.
Yeah.
So you do almost like a CETA level qualification.
Oh, yeah.
You do both scoping, drilling, blasting. Up until I think August, I was enough. I'm not going to survive here. Every day you wake up at 5, taxi comes, picks you up, plastic bag, juice. Underground. Every day you come back, let's say 12, 50 hours. But what ticked me off was every day there's a board mining. Fatalities, injuries.
Hey.
It's an more a catch.
Yeah, lift, yeah.
Prefer thing a better.
Going down.
800 meters. I would say na so. Get pay for ventilation again.
Yeah.
You're better I pay for. Come out ke makarapa ke lempo. Ke bega ga go ya dijo di eng. Le battery ke tsa magalempe. overall, we made so that you're like 18, 19 years. You walk maybe let's say 1.2 kilometers. We can go shift, go maybe not shaft of course. Go maybe face, go shape like a tunnel and then honali this split like highway. So
Yeah.
offer
Yes.
offer mpe wakena. Dula so more like special signane. Very small space. You are there. There's very little ventilation. You are sweating, and the stories you hear there, very horrific stories. You hear it's almost like a prison, like it's its own economy by itself.
Yeah.
You hear stories of young boys being raped underground. You're gonna collapse. There's no ventilation in Madala side.
Then Badila
Yes, a stories. Motoma any monek moto. Talokanya is very it's like Patoma in Babua, Pasadi, Pujuala, Maine Ball. Those four. Beyond that, they don't know anything else. But then it goes back to history. So how I mining, you'll realize certain aspects that historic colonizations that mine, how Joburg was built. You'll hear those stories there. But I don't need by the culture, because you hear Batsutu Batenda, Batkosa Batenda, Mazuru Batenda. And you hear stories how mining built South African economy from years ago. So those aspects skill anywhere else.
Yeah.
Besides underground. So I went there up until I think August. I said, okay, gents, I'm enough. I left. Give up very long. I think my salary back then was 3,000, 3.5. Got 2006. 3.5.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of money, of course. 3.5. Ke khola 3.5. He could do like flat in the mine.
Yeah.
Well, hardcore. You think about it was the first time I rice gravy, kapai.
Rice gravy le pie.
Le pie.
Hey, diabo.
My nota here.
Is it? So fast forward, right?
Yes.
You get that exposure, you go mining, and then you do something about your life, which you'll tell me.
Yes. I'm gonna go to that. That's why I had to start there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, I think it's profound, Hore. They actually do that. They send you there, get that exposure. Hore, you decide, Hore, when you do actually take on this business.
Exactly.
This is where you're gonna go. Right?
Exactly.
And I think it's a good model. I'm wondering, Hore, but I think the focus in Yana before we go there again. Hore, Hore, the youngsters know Yana.
Yes.
They like material.
Yes.
Jewish, stuff like that, right?
Yes.
So I want to Jewish grande, and they always want to know, hey man, look what money later. How and it gets me to that point, what is it that you do and what were the challenges?
Yes.
Besides starting at the mine as well,
Yes,
what were the challenges?
Yes.
And a bit of highlights.
Of course, yes. I'm gonna get there because of now my life went back to mining years later. That's why I started there. Then obviously fast forward, stayed home for a year. My brother then decided to open a shop, Coca Extra. We used to have a shop, Coca Extra, for a year. 2006, 2007. Mid-year, I'm like, okay, fine, let me go study Kopika. Go to Washington University. Obviously, both my parents studied there as well. Okay, fine. Actually, at first, I wanted to do CA, be chartered accountant. Then I'm like, okay, fine, no, man, chartered accountant there, because they were doing it in Afrikaans. I'm like, it's going to be very difficult. Okay, let me do financial risk management and economics. Studied that, record time 3 years, small waters, really. Okay, sharp. But then, I once had an opportunity, APSA CIP, Corporate Investment Banking. And then ever since then, that call, I always wanted to be in investment banking all my life. And then I was one person where I would read, even in high school, Business Times, that's all I used to read. Time I Kuranta, about Business Times. I would never read by nature. I get like a whole. So I would always be aware of financial markets, business and all those things. So something that from the top back of my mind, I would know everything was happening in JSE and all those kind of things. So there was always been my interest, business, entrepreneurship. Although entrepreneurship is something that I think I focus on in the future, but into getting from the back of my mind how business operate, and I'm gonna come to a conversation here one day. Then I studied obviously economics, financial risk management, and then I was very fortunate, as much as the bazar nikilithola. Basipala kupoch unomfazaka every year, kuyasikhela. Every year, I say back thola zaka from Masipala Pochi. So it was very swift. So I don't think struggle. I'm not gonna say I struggled, but then I used to take effort as well. I can't say I struggled that much, to be honest, in terms of fees and all those things. I was very fortunate for Anglo American Bazari, even though I quit.
But yeah.
Exactly. So, Posti municipality used to give me money as well. I really go pick. So it was a very swift process. That's why even I was staying at home, record time, course. But during that time, I once got the opportunity for internship to go up to Capital for investment banking. And I never forget that call. That guy told me, in life, if you want to be rich, it's either you're an investment banker, you're a politician, or you are an entrepreneur. Those three. And I never forgot that call. And then I never unfortunately made that cut internship about ABSA CIP. And then I also had an opportunity to go Standard Bank for winter internship. It was during 2010 World Cup. I get a Josie so I qualify so interview. It was during construction time at World Cup. I never made it to the interview. Fine, because it may Standard Bank cut me off. First year after first degree, I got a job go Mutual and Federal Insurance Company. Worked there. I was a business development consultant. Usually, I was managing the broker. It's a commercial. So brokers that used to insure companies, put yellow plant, always rented. I did that, I think, for a year. But my heart was always investment banking. Got a call from ABSA, graduate program. I think applications was 10,000 applications. Africa Youth. They only take 80 from 10,000 applications. I was one of those 80 people. Interview guy, small waters, keep it interview. I obviously go back to
Yes, yes, yeah.
With that simple
that feedback,
it goes back to Balakuranta Business Times every day. So I was like, get to look at it, company thing, it's banking as small waters. Get an opportunity to join ABSA CIB Career Development Program. It's really Mutual and Federal. Because always my first love was investment banking. And then go to ABSA, CIB, ABSA Capital back then. I think back then, Barclays was a majority shareholder, 2012. First time on a flight. I think that time, one time used to exist. So they placed me go Cape Town. ABSA CIP or Cape Town. Book my flight. First time ever, flight in Cape Town one time. But luckily, my late uncle was staying in Cape Town. So accommodation was not an issue. Went there to Cape Town. And then I joined division here, maybe it's a trade and working capital, where banks finance anything that has to do with trade. If you want to buy something in China, obviously, possibly is that you need to pay them in foreign currency. So there's a transaction that happens between bank to bank, between two parties. You're a buyer, I'm a seller. And then there are terms and conditions that we agree upon. So there are instruments that banks use to protect both buyer and seller. So classic example would be you buying, let's say, clothes. Most shipments, obviously, we will be clothes from China. I'm selling you clothes, and then you need to pay me in, let's say, in foreign currency. And then what typically happens is that shipment has skepe, almost like a delivery note. It's called a bill of lading. That bill of lading would have the description of the clothes I'm selling to you, quantities, and then there's a third-party inspection. Maybe they will inspect that those quantities are actually in the container. On the back of that, there are what you call a letter of credit or payment instrument, where it's almost like a guarantee that you're gonna pay me if X, Y, and Z are met. So let's say the bill of lading, third party inspection certificate guarantees that those things are actually in the container. Date of shipment, YTX will land at a particular time back in South Africa, and then payment will be happening from bank to bank. So I would join the Trade and Working Capital Division, long story short. Then again, I was fortunate enough to go to London. Back then. Batley took me to London on assignment from UPSA, same division, worked there for about 2 or 3 months in the UK. I was there exposing me to same thing, trade and working capital, how trade works between shipments. There's also what we call bank-to-bank finance. Banks actually lend each other money as well. People don't know that. So he exposed me to that. Came back to South Africa after 2-3 months, worked for ABSA in trade and working capital, and then I joined Puma.
Yeah, I know.
You remember, yes. Puma Energy was a petroleum company, actually. And then I worked in the treasury division, where I was managing the same thing I was used to ABSA, trade, finance of the shipments, and just cash management, essentially. What happens is that in petroleum, obviously, it's big volumes. You buy cash on delivery, you bunker your stock, you store, and then it gets delivered to the retail side. So Puma bought the old BP and Shell stations outside South Africa. That's how they came into South Africa, actually, initially. And I think they were established in 2008. I joined them 2013 or 14, somewhere there. It was a very high-pressure environment. French company, I think you used to always work for a French company. Culture is very different.
He's taking out my laundry.
It's very, very difficult. French people are they have a special bunch of people, let me put it that way.
Bonjour.
Yeah, bonjour, monsieur, the whole day. And then I worked in a treasury environment, and I think that's where I gained, sometimes you go to school, you gain the knowledge at school. But then the soft skills as well that I think it's missing. And I think that's, as much as people need to get education, I think what I want to impart in future is those soft skills that we never got, that you only realize when you start working. How you approach culture, how you approach certain things. And I think ABSA Graduate Program tried to do that, but as much as I can give them the kudos, but I think it failed somehow. Because you used to see someone maybe from high school, varsity, very sharp, corporate ABSA Graduate Program, very sharp, 100 out of 100. That person comes into corporate culture, doesn't know anything about how you address certain issues, how you understand, maybe, for example, white people, restaurants, etiquette,
fork and knife.
Yeah. Exactly. You get people like that, funny enough. Don't think corporate is all about claim, but whatever. No. You get someone exactly like that in a graduate program. Doesn't know anything. But
Bafana Bakokasiba, if they ask you, what do you say to them? What is it that you are doing? What is that thing that you do?
Exactly. So, fast forward, obviously now, I joined Standard & Poor's rating agency after ABSA. After Puma.
Yeah.
I joined Standard & Poor's, whole new realm that I didn't also understand. So basically, Standard & Poor's obviously, no, they rate countries and corporates.
Yeah.
Pola back then, South Africa was Mokshang State. So I was always in a commercial environment. Even at Absa, I was also commissioned. So Standard & Poor's, fast forward, I was the commercial manager for the products they used to sell. Standard & Poor's, people always know them as a rating agency. Obviously, they rate South Africa junk status back then. They also used to sell data and other reports, so research reports, economic seats, country risks, companies as well. So when someone wants to make an investment decision, let's say Old Mutual, for example, wants to make an investment decision, they'll buy reports from us on a particular country or company so that they understand the risk that they want to take. So Standard & Poor's will also do those credit risk reports to say how credit worthiness of a company is so that you know what you're similar to you and me taking a loan go up. So someone will obviously rate us. Standard & Poor's will rate companies and countries as well. What does country or company be able to pay their debt if they were to take R1 billion, hypothetical example, $1 billion loan? That's what they used to. So I used to sell those reports go Standard & Poor's to companies, to Reserve Bank, for example, was one of the clients I used to manage. All your big asset managements, your banks, were the clients I used to manage across Africa as well. And then fast forward, they bought a mining research house called SNL that used to provide data for mining companies, mostly the precious metals producers, your gold, PGMs, and all those things. And then I became involved in that project, and then I used to manage mining companies.
But I think that's rich information you're giving. But I want you to give them like an analysis, a high level for, okay, now this is my field.
Okay, yes.
This is what I do.
Yes.
So I got about a fella, hey, Rutban. That just high level for, okay, a lawyer focusing in crime, whatever.
Yes. So basically, I can say to you, I sell people an opinion.
Oh. He sells people an opinion.
An opinion.
This man. And then born, transi.
That's what I sell.
I
sell people an opinion. Whether they use that opinion, it's up to them.
Exactly.
That's what I sell. In the mining space, I sell people an opinion in the mining space that this is where the price is going. Let's say for copper, the price is going to be, let's say, $2,000 per ton. So I sell an opinion, but I mean, it's a culmination of all those experiences from the times going back to the newspapers, to Absa, to the mines. Exactly.
Insurance as well. It's a build-up.
Insurance as well. So a combination of that. So now I sell people an opinion on whatever they want to see on a particular commodity, be it gold, but mostly in the dry bulk. So mostly in manganese, iron ore, chrome, and maybe coal as well, to a certain degree. True. So that's what I sell. I sell business intelligence, which ultimately is an opinion that companies use in their own decision making.
So the car itself, for me, I personally believe for every car has its own story.
Yes, of course.
And with the current car, it's an A-class, Mercedes-Benz.
Yes.
It represents a specific something to you.
Yes.
So what's the story behind that car? And when you bought it, did you look at any other options? How did you come about to this particular? What's the story behind that car?
I think I don't want to talk about the A-class. I think I'd rather talk about the GTI because there's a story about that.
Yeah.
When I was in Cape Town, after programming apps, I bought, I think, Polo Vivo back then. Then I drove it up to Joburg. Then I joined Puma. And then immediately when I got the contract from Standard & Poor's, then I bought the GTI. I'm not into cars, to be honest. I don't know kilowatts. If you can ask me kilowatts, I don't know the kilowatts.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of guy, unfortunately. GTI, I see it online. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this car. Guys, okay, I'll bring it to your work. GTI, he brings it to my work. I start the car. Went around the block, West Street Center, and around.
You get some feedback from the exhaust.
I'm like, Chief, I'm taking this one. No clue about GTI. Oh yeah, you of course called 5 GTI. I think my cousin used to have called 5 GTI back in the day. So I knew GTI. And when 7 was just launched, I'm like, okay, fine. this one, I'm taking this one. Immediately, I'm like, chief, application approved. Take this old Polo Vivo. Bring it. Of course, and over the years, obviously, Motopeno Afela, then he started giving me prompts and I sold it. This one was just obviously because of, I'm a type of guy that I don't plan.
Yeah.
I wake up and decide. Whoever can sell me something, because I'm also a salesperson, whoever can sell me something as best as they could in the effort, I most likely will buy from them without even the product itself. So I buy from a person, not the product.
But do you look at the numbers at least when you decide to make?
No, I don't.
You don't look at the numbers.
For
a guy that reads them.
I'm that type of guy. I'm very impulsive. I'm an emotional spender, so to say. So
okay, let me tell you guys the damage that this guy could have made. The damage that he could have made by not applying the numbers. so I've done my research, right?
Okay,
so
fair
I've
enough.
just looked at an A-class, for instance.
Yes.
Let's take a 2022 model.
Yes.
Let's say 900K.
Yes.
And say now you get into a store like yourself.
Yes.
You decide to buy this car emotionally.
Yes.
Without doing the numbers. For a guy who reads the newspaper. Monthly, with just 30, let's say we take interest rate at 13.75, what it is today.
Yes.
Just a normal one, you know. Per month, if this car is 900K, you'll part ways with about 18,425.
Yes.
Installment.
Yes.
We move. We go to
insurance,
maybe anything between 2.4 to 3,000.
Yes,
depending on your risk profile.
Of course.
So let's be nicely on 2.4, right? We're still adding emotional decisions.
Yes.
And then we talk about, let's just say fuel. Let's say you put 5 tanks a month.
Yes.
5 tanks.
Yes.
1 tank per week, and then just 1 random tank for whatever. 5 tanks. 4,919, right? So this means this guy who's well read with newspapers, selling commercial stuff, parts ways with 25,724
Yes.
a month.
Yes.
Without thinking about the choice. It's a big one. So this is what we do at the Drive Network. We're not just about the car,
of course,
but we look at the total cost of ownership, of the car. But besides, I just wanted to make you aware of that emotional decision.
Yes.
Could be that number, could be more, could be
less.
Yes. But yeah, we can carry on.
But you see, then, like I said, it's an emotional decision. Like, I don't go to shops. If I walk into a shop, psychologically I know I'm going to spend money. And that's how I operate. Whether it's $1 million, whatever. I don't window shop. I don't go check out the price. You know. The day I wake up, when I have the money, I'm gonna walk in.
He just buys. I want to be a salesman behind the counter. So interesting enough, right? So tell me, have you ever heard about the term? Obviously, you've heard black tax. And
yes.
Have you experienced black tax? How so?
I think I was a beneficiary of black tax.
Yeah? Tell me about it. It's an interesting angle because I normally hear people that are taking away, but you.
Yes, I think because I had older brother and older sister.
Yeah.
And my brother worked at a very young age at the time. And I think he used to have a call for one that I inherited, and I wrote it off actually.
Hey, this is a bad beneficiary.
Call for one, and I wrote it off. But fast forward now, it happens, family structures, we're not the same. People have their own ups and downs within family or friends. But my parents, they are of the view that they hate black tax, especially my mother.
Yeah.
She's always believed that she's done her work, and I must never feel as though that I owe her something.
Yeah.
She's not a person. She'll ask you, but she's not going to be that every month give me. Instead, when days were dark, sometimes I would ask.
God from her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, black tax, I think we all know obviously the structural issues are economy in South Africa and all those things, but without going into much detail with those issues like that, it should never impose. I think I want a thing. do your best as a parent.
Yeah, I love that.
And then let them fly. Whether they come back or not, it's up to them.
Aye, that's good. I like that.
You understand my point?
Yeah.
So it should never be an obligation or they must come back. Especially Moshimani, like, next door. Atena, kokotaga kalingwele.
Yeah.
Kadi plastic.
Let's go drive this Mac. I actually have a few questions about the actual Mac, but let's go drive the Mac.
Okay.
Get some opinion. Yeah, the Mac.
Of course.
And yeah, let's show these young boys for a road money and I drive. Hater.
Thank you.
Sure. Your boy, big bucks. Yo, the Benz had the black text. Yeah, no.
It's
I bully a remote guy.
black text.
Yeah, I go. I care most of the time. I was a nice car.
Yes.
Then, but they think, man, I'm guy 15 years.
Of course.
Pinkies, I'm on a 50 rand, done it. We beat up us workers. What's your head? So
Yeah, it's always the case. The college again. About Bonokas, women, you want to take Mokasi, you want to fancy one.
Yeah, I'm going to
but let's put the bourgeois again.
It was a panoramic sunroof.
Yes.
Wabalata. It's a left.
In my very guy, dancing as a regular son of a principle.
Oh, what does that do?
Yeah. So, whatever happens, you must always have a son of.
Yeah.
Just that I will never be praised enough to buy a convertible, which I think I'll probably buy.
Yeah, it should be a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
It should be a nice thing to do. And not just straight.
If it's a bulang on, the gato bulang on.
Yeah. Bulang on the pevanya.
Yeah.
So King, the one thing that you really love about this car, if you were to tell anyone who's now the A-Class, what's the one thing that you like about the car?
I think the drive is smooth, very, very smooth, comfortable, quiet, sticks on the road, very solid on the road. Fuel consumption-wise, not as bad.
How is it? Yeah.
It's not as bad as the GTI. I think I'll be shitting beans now.
Yeah.
Considering where the petrol price is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very low on fuel. The comfort is on another level altogether. And I think it's the design. There's not GTI. It had a lot of wear and tear. This doesn't have. It's like the finishing as well.
The quality finishes.
Quality, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So everything lasts. You can tell I can drive this for the next 10 years.
So durability of the Mercedes-Benz compared to your previous GTI,
yes, durability
is what you enjoy more than anything else.
The durability aspect as well.
Yeah,
it's on another level altogether.
It's a Mercedes-Benz.
It's a Mercedes-Benz.
Look at this Mercedes-Benz driver, right? Right?
Exactly. Which something
the next one we tell.
I didn't think it would have any bearing or weight to durability. You only now realize actually durability of many things.
Oh, so you didn't expect it last like this.
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I, to be honest, I had a different view about what Mercedes-Benz uses inside the car.
Really?
So it's actually some good review. Or the newer models are actually lasting in terms of durability.
Yes.
But the previous shapes, study Mercedes-Benz, to be honest, what I've witnessed, the I think for me the wear and tear was not great, but it's good to know they've improved.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my first Mercedes, so I don't know anything before that. But coming from a VW, durability is something that's.
And would you say now Mercedes has won you over? Are you brand loyal to Mercedes?
No, after sales services.
Whoa! After sales service. No. You know why? Because I've got a lot of guys that are telling me about this car Mercedes-Benz. My wife owns a Mercedes-Benz, and I've personally witnessed the after sales service. Some Mercedes-Benz, they make nice cars, right? but the after sales is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they need to improve on that, and I'm hoping this video gives that feedback as well.
You know, there was a part that they had to ship early this year. Straight,
yeah.
I didn't have a car from December up until March this year.
Yo. Did they give you a courtesy car?
They gave me a courtesy car.
Yeah.
But obviously not the same.
Yeah, it's something lower.
Exactly. For like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And the excuses was shipments from Germany.
And for this brand, you expect something.
Exactly.
It's not going to be like that. They understand how they're servicing a higher segment market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's not cheap either.
Exactly. Exactly. So you paying the money and you're expecting that service.
But no, very pathetic service. That's the one thing that.
So
the brand, I don't know about the next Mercedes.
The next Mercedes. That's why, for me, they make beautiful cars, right? And the car is a good car, but they need to improve on that element. What do you jam to? What do you jam to? What music do you jam to?
Me?
You left the phone.
Yeah, but I'm a piano.
Oh, piano.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting you lost, Lynn. No? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Piano, on the way. But I don't like. I think I've never generally been music in the car. I enjoy it at home. Actually.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, in the car. Just when I get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Maybe radio, but obviously YFM, because I don't listen to news anymore because they're very depressing.
But you read.
No, business time is the only thing. Other things,
you're good.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Look. This track, it didn't last time.
Serious?
This chick with a really video on TikTok. One girl not enough for me. I 2, I 3, I 4. Oh, this is your favorite jam. Yeah, no.
I once called them.
All those guys.
The mining company, mine home.
Not by inside at all.
We are working Saturday.
Saturday, why be ready?
I'm the deadline, man.
Ready, you are papa. Now, what are the deadline? Yeah, I'm never net. Net. Mac.
I think Mac must be in our
Next car.
Yeah.
Plus, VW.
Yeah,
Yeah, you must.
Here we go.